I'm going to give you guys a choice here. And this is like, because I had no idea. I guess because on YouTube, obviously people search the names of things and the popular people that search and but the Keep It at 100 official YouTube page, we have 4,500 subscribers. Okay. And thank you for Hugh G. Hello for keeping this up, even though it's been a few days since he's posted anything. So tell him to get his ass off the couch. But he posts clips of stuff we talk about in the show, and it generates responses in the comment section. Okay, and I think the comment section sometimes are very interesting. But for a show with only 4,500 subscribers, I do find this very interesting. Is that like some of our views on some of these YouTube clips are crazy? We've passed 1 million views total. Yeah, the other day. So, like, perfect example. He posts a 10-minute clip. Says, and the title is Jim Ross on where WWE is going wrong. Where Jim talks, it's got 312,000 views. Mm-hmm. Okay, Dave Meltzer, like this is the recent one on where WWE is going wrong, 36,000 views. Conan on Vince McMahon being racist. I have firsthand knowledge, 28,000 views. This is another entertainment. Conan and Disco Inferno argue about AEW being what's the title here? Being successful. 26,000.
Yeah,
right?
that was the first one that really blew up. I'm going to
choose one. I'm going to give you guys an option. All right. Out of Conan and Disco argue about AEW being successful. Okay. Out of Disco Inferno on entitled wrestlers. Dave Meltzer on where WWE is going wrong. And Jim Ross on where WWE is going wrong. Which of those do you guys want to go take a dive and hit the comments section? I can read you some more people talking about on these about our discussions.
Conan and Disco argue over AEW.
What about you, Conan? Which one do you want to say?
Let me ask you a question. Have you read some of the comments on all of these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I haven't. Which to you are the funniest comments? That's all I want to hear. I don't care what it's
You're going to get a kick out of. You're going to get a kick out of most of them.
Okay, because, then go whatever you think is the funniest.
Because
That's what I want to hear.
Because the ones that have. Like one here, Conan on Andre Ciama's chances in WWE. It's only got like 1.5 thousand views, but that's because just our audience is listening to it. Right. Yeah. So the ones where like people, fans of these other people, get on here, I think you're going to be very entertained by some of their reactions. So let's go on where Jim Ross on. Let's go where Conan and Disco argue. Okay. Conan and Disco argue on where is this? Disco and Conan can argue about AEW being successful. This is from 2 months ago. All right. All right. So I'm not going to even read the names of people commenting. I'm just going to read your comments. Okay. All right. Has anyone? Okay. All right. I'm just going to read the in order. Right. And we're going to start with sort by most. There's 466 comments, so you can do a deep dive in these things sometimes and really spend some time like looking, reading this stuff. So one of them is it's got 466 comments. Okay, so here we go. First comment. I can't stand Disco Inferno. I seriously don't like him.
Right.
Anything but the trash WWE putting out, it's fucking vile. Tony Khan knows his shit. Kermit the Frog argues with Conan. Disco is way too much of a hater. I'm actually a fan of his too. I liked his 1995 WWF gimmick being on Nitro in 1997-98, and that's genuine praise. A show full of these gimmicks suck, but having a few gimmick guys is great. One of my few favorite matches of his is Halloween Havoc. I just wish my guy could be a little bit more positive and not sound so bitter about stuff. Disco knows what's up, calls people on it, and they respond by calling him names. I used to love seeing Disco Inferno getting his ass kicked. When his music kid got you excited to see him get his butt kicked in the ring. Disco, it needs to be the janitor at Impact. Hogan is a territory killer, has been since 2000. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and each time expecting a different outcome. It's the smaller promotions like AAA, NGPW, MLW, Impact, and now AEW, who do legitimately have better content, are ever going to compete with the lame-ass WWE, then the wrestlers need as much exposure as possible so they become a bigger draw to the average show. The fuck is wrong with Disco's voice? He sounds like someone is strangling Kermit the Frog. Conan's awesome. He cares about the underground companies. Disco's a shill. Actually, Disco is worse. He wishes he was a company shill. So these last four, I'm gonna go with these four here. All right. Joe Troller. Remember I was talking about him. He's one of the guys here. Yeah, Joe Troller has a comment here. He says AEW is for virgins. Joe Troller is like the best. Joe Troller, anybody that goes in these message boards or goes on Hugely Hello's page, Joe Troller is like the single best internet troll out there. I mean, the guy has no peer. He's like he'll rip anything, right?
But is he a wrestling guy, just on wrestling or anything?
No, it's just a mark, just like some internet troll. Right. Joe Troller. That's like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Has anyone noticed that Disco rips everyone when he is not involved? All he does is cry and whine and tries to make himself the smartest guy in the room. Do you agree with that? Do you think I'd try to do that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, you're a dick. Conan, here's the next one. Conan just took a dump in Disco's duffel bag. I guess he was talking about the discussion.
The Juventud thing, which was which I erroneously see as being that. That's another thing. You need to go to MLW, listen to when X-Pac is on the show and he tells you the whole story.
Right. You'll like this one. First thing I'll say is Disco is a stupid motherfucker and he should be kicked in the teeth for calling wrestlers characters. I personally don't think it will be successful. Sure, people will be all over it for a year or two because people love new toys. Unfortunately, as soon as they start doing these goddamn stupid intergender matches, and as soon as they goof Joey Ryan and his fucking pecker show up, that's actually good line. As soon as Joey Ryan and his pecker show up, people will turn the channel. Mainstream audience and television sponsors just aren't going to go for men beating up women. They aren't going to go for a scurvy 70s porn star looking motherfucker forcing people to grab his dick.
Let me ask you a question. Joe,
Mm-hmm.
Are you entertained by Joey Ryan?
I was at first.
Right?
Not so much anymore.
Okay. You, Disco?
Yeah, I'm a fan of his.
All right. Yeah,
here's the thing. When I was not as much of a fan until we had him on the show.
Right.
And when we had him on the show, and he opened my eyes, because I don't, I'm not like you say. I'm the guy that doesn't. You think there's an indie boom? I don't. Whatever. But I'm not in the indie scene, so I don't. I'm speaking on a lack of knowledge of it. I'll admit that. But the one thing I was surprised at is when Joey Ryan said, I go look, bro, that's the type of gimmick that kids, you just can't. And he was like, bro, the kids are the ones that like it the most.
Right.
There's this thing about, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid humor. That shit is funny to 8, 9, 10-year-old kids.
Think about this. How many kids were watching South Park when that came out?
Oh, yeah.
The kids want to watch what adults watch, just like when we were kids. That's the cool shit.
Well, there's way more. We're just going to end it here. Disco is a fucking idiot loudmouth. Disco shits on AEW always because he wanted so bad to be there, but they're only hiring talented people, so he's no chance of being hired. First of all, let me tell you a question. When we had this discussion, right, and people can listen to this, they go on our the Ki100 official page, and you can listen to this conversation. I'm not shitting on AEW. I was just specifically categorical, and this is what I do when I argue. People that are listening to this, or an MLW, if you're an MLW, me, I specifically and categorically point out points that I want to argue, which doesn't not necessarily mean how I feel overall about everything, but specific things. I specifically talked about with this conversation was AEW didn't want to make the same mistakes that the other companies did, and I was just okay. Well, why are they paying guys so much then? Because that's a mistake that did, and that's how this conversation gestated, and how it grew and evolved. But it's a pretty good conversation. If you people are listening to our show for the first time on MLW, go to the Ki100 official page. We post a lot of the conversations that are thought provoking to try to get comments like this. And if you want to go in the forums and we won't call you out, but we'll basically we might read your comments.
Here's the thing that people will understand that have been listening to the show for a long time. The one thing we hate is just everybody, there's going to be things we all agree on, and that's cool, and we can talk about it. But if we agree on everything, this show is very boring. So that's why Disco will bring up, play devil's advocate. So at least we have something to discuss. Yeah,
and plus two, Actually, we can actually let's talk about our resumes. When people, here's the funniest thing is I think sometimes these comment sections have 600, 700, 800 comments, and one of the comments is always "Why is Disco trying to be relevant?" It's like, dude, all I'm doing is do a podcast, and you're the one making it relevant by all you people comment on my stuff. It's I'm not trying to be relevant. I'm just when I did this, when Conan asked me to do this. When we choose, what episode are we on?
147.
147, almost 3 years worth. When Conan asked me to do this, my initial reaction was, "Oh, cool! Me and Conan we're reconnecting. We can talk every week, and we can shoot the shit because we used to hang out a lot in WCW. You know, we were good friends." But when you talk about like people say like, "Oh, who are these guys?" Like, well, Conan works in Impact. Conan works in MLW. Conan books AAA. I used to like when people think, "Oh, the funny thing you see these comments. Disco's a comedy character and stuff." Well, you may look at me on TV and I was a comedy character, but I knew enough about the business that some people asked me to be on booking committees with them because I have ideas. So our level of knowledge, you know, if you look just strictly our characters on TV, you're not getting a full picture of the type of discussions we're going to have because we're definitely outside the box of the typical wrestling mark fan base that, you know, basically just fans. We're definitely insiders and experts in this, you know, so I don't think. I mean, if you want to disagree with that, I mean, you're just going to really sound foolish because, like, you know, it's
just, bro. It doesn't matter. Like the people that know, you know, and so we have enough of those people that, thank God, you know, we've been able to run this show on 3 different platforms, and everybody always wants us to be on there, and we've been doing great numbers, really, and a lot of people have stayed on, and even with so many podcasts out there. So enough people know. The bottom line is, you either like the show, you don't like the show. You can't really question our credentials as far as wrestling goes. We actually did it, and we were on the hottest time ever, and we both had characters that got over, and we got them over. You know,
and it's all in the network.
Of a lot of
If you're saying you're 24 years old, you didn't really watch the Monday Night Wars when it was going on. So, bro, just go on the network and just look up our matches and watch the way the crowd reacted back then, and just look at the difference now with the way crowd reacts. We got pops, in front of massive audiences. So it was like we kind of know what we're talking about a little bit. So.